Now, this model was released back in 2018 and unbelievably I've never got around to review it. So to rectify this huge oversight, let's take a closer look at it now. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 777-200LR of Air Canada. At the front of the box we have the cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the Air Canada branding. Then on the back side of the box we don't have much, but we do have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life, and we are provided with a web link by Herpa where we can get more information. So that's it for the box. Let's take a closer look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Boeing 777-200LR in the current livery of Air Canada. Now, as I said in the intro of the video, this model was released back in 2018 when this livery was brand new. So let's see what Herpa Wings has managed to pull off with this model. If we start off with the tail section, we can see on the vertex stabilizer we have the iconic Air Canada branding consisting of the maple leaf. On top of the stabilizer we then have three numbers. That's an internal registration code of the airline. On the fuselage we then find the Canadian flag, the full registration code of the aircraft, and the aircraft type specification. At the very tail of the aircraft we then also have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. If we then move to the front of the aircraft, we find across the fuselage the writing of Air Canada, and we also have the Air Canada branding once again. We also have a Star Alliance logo, of which Air Canada is a founding member. Then if we look around the cockpit section, well, that is very bare bone. We don't really have any details printed on, other than of course the cockpit windows and the black mask, which is part of the Air Canada livery. Now normally we would at least have the window wipers printed on, but either they haven't been printed on or they're just completely disappearing in the black mask of the livery, because I couldn't see them. Now the GE90 engines of this aircraft have been colored in black, giving a very nice contrast to the otherwise quite white fuselage. We have the nice silver leading edges, and also if you look at the nacelles from the backside, I think they look rather decent, although as I always mention with these things, the engines are not entirely correctly shaped, but they do look nice. And of course if you look into the engines from the front, we can see the engine fan blades very nicely indeed. Then we should definitely also take a quick look at the wings, more specifically here the top side, where we can see the different flaps, slats and spoilers have been carved out very nicely, but we don't really have any other details here, no markings or whatsoever, nothing printed on, a little bit disappointing. The underside I think looks really nice, and of course if we are here on the underside we can see the belly of the aircraft. We also have the Air Canada branding once again. Then if we look at the landing gear, or more specifically the main landing gear here underneath the wings, I think Herpa has done a decent job replicating this. Also the front landing gear looks rather decent, although I would have wished for a few markings, but of course we only get those with Herpa Wings Club models. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 777-200LR in the current livery of Air Canada. And what can we say about this aircraft model? It is very much a standard model from Herpa Wings, to the point of almost being too much standard. Let me explain. Well, I mean, the physical details are excellent, except of course for the engines not being entirely shaped correctly, but they do look nice. The print quality is also great. All the details that have been printed on are very good. But we just don't have enough details. The wings are very much missing out on printed details. The cockpit section is completely lackluster. And I mean, especially with airlines using liveries that contain so much white, I feel it becomes even more obvious how many details are missing from Herpa Wings in their standard models. So don't get me wrong, it's not a bad model, but it really does feel like Herpa is flying with full reverse thrust deployed. They're holding back on us, and they really don't need to. The livery looks really nice on the 777, so for that alone I would say yes, it's worth having in one's collection, but you can definitely find 777s out there that have many more details than this. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to smash the like button. That really does help us out. And of course, if you are new around here, want to hit subscribe, that would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.